by UMHB head coach Mark Morefield and our Arieona Rosborough. Following the Crusaders' huge victory over Hardin-Simmons tonight. Hardin-Simmons number 22 in the country. You guys entered at number 20 in the country. Huge top 25 matchup. Can you just maybe talk about the importance of this game for both programs and how important it was for y'all to get the win here on the home floor?
I think the biggest thing for us was like coming out and playing four quarters, like we were to go 100%. And like last couple games we were playing, you know, one quarter and 2 quarters there, but our biggest thing is make sure we're going 100%, like every quarter, because that's our biggest concern, which is actually getting out there and playing basketball.
I think the biggest thing too is in a conference race, we're trying to win a conference championship. Now, obviously, our ultimate goal is to play a Fort Wayne and in the Final Four, but we got to take steps to get there and accomplish certain things. And I think for us, from the conference race standpoint, it's huge. It keeps us going, keeps us on top, hopefully gets us a little separation. I think I would have to say from Hardin-Simmons' standpoint, they're trying to catch up and win, and now this would be their fourth loss, you know, in conference. And I do know this, whether in my time, 4 to 5 losses they can really usually win your conference, whether that's here, whether it was at Baylor, whether it was at Valparaiso University. You got to get 3 losses in about max is what you can do to have a chance. And so for them, I would have to say it would be a chance to just come on in and, you know, try to stay alive in the conference race.
Coach, what was your message to your team? 19 seconds left, Hardin was down by 3. Coming into the week, you knew how good of a 3-point shooting team they were. How important was it for y'all to have a good defensive performance on that possession and defend the perimeter?
I think the biggest thing is we want to take away the 3, we'll give up the 2, because then that way we're still up by 1, we call a timeout, we're still in control of the game, they're going to have to foul us. We're not looking to score, we're going to make them come and get us. And so our biggest message was 3 things really. Don't give up the 3, make sure we're locked in, we're switching everything. Second message was give up the 2. If you're gonna give them the 2, give them the 2. That's fine. But the third message was, if you're gonna do that, don't foul them and give them an and 1. And so, you know, we wanted to give up the 2, call a timeout if we had to. If they scored. If we're gonna give up something, give up 2, call a timeout. We'll advance the ball, make them have to come to us, and so forth. So I thought we executed well defensively at that 19 seconds. I thought we executed well when they hit the 3. You know, I mean, we really, if you go back and look at the 3, to my recollection, it may be different. I mean, it was a forced-up 3 that she had to throw up because time was running down to give it a chance, and I think it banked in. I'm not 100% sure, but I mean, it wasn't a fluid 3. So, you know, like I told the girls at halftime was, listen, we got to make sure we're doing what we're talking about from a 3-point defensive standpoint. We got to stay home. Stay home on certain aspects that we talk about, because with the 3-point shooting team, the tide can turn rather quickly. And I thought we did an excellent job of doing that. You know, kept them in and made them have to really get out of their comfort zone by having to say, okay, you need to beat us by 2s because we're not going to let you beat us by 3s.
And Arieona, for you, throughout that whole fourth quarter, you guys were in a dogfight with them, back and forth, a lot of points being scored. How important was it for you guys to be as that collective unit, create opportunities off of the turnovers, and do the little things right in a game that ended up being a 2-point game?
Like Morefield said, like we had to be locked in. We executed it's not just knowing personnel. We executed that in the first half very well. We locked off a little in the third, but we made up for it in the fourth quarter. So I think that's what we made sure we did that. We was all moving as one, because we're all on one page.
You had a lot of good opportunities in transition, coming off of a lot of steals. How important was it for you guys in transition to kind of win those plays early on, even in the first quarter? That's where you guys 6-0 run. A lot of those points came from that gave you guys that 8-2 lead early on.
Like with those steals, we just make sure we just gotta take care of the ball. Our biggest thing is like make sure every possession counts. So like we can't like turn out make sure that we're gonna get the steal, we're gonna make sure we get the bucket, we're gonna foul.
Exactly. And Coach Morefield, for you guys had 40 points in the paint compared to Hardin-Simmons 24. Talk about the importance maybe of the post play and also the importance of the guards getting into the post and making those good passes to create the opportunity.
I think we have some of the most electric guards in conference, and I would have to say in the country, just watching what I've seen, you know, teams around in the country. And, you know, Arieona's very hard to guard. She can get to the paint. Bethany's can get to the paint. I think, you know, Lauren Baker, as she gets more used to things, kind of threw in the fire here and, you know, and whatnot, and the transfer, she can get to the paint. I think we just, you know, Cheyenne, Bonilla can get to the paint. So we get a lot where it's not just, you can't just sag in and guard the post because our guards are going to get in the paint. But I think what's even better is you got players this year that can shoot the three. Ashley Fox can hit the kick out three. Bethany can hit it. Liv can hit it. Cheyenne's hitting it. So it makes it hard. Even Lex. Lex Martin can get to the paint. So I think we got guards that can kind of keep that pressure on them defensively and allows us to open things up. And it also allows things to open up in the post because you just can't sit there and pack it in and say, okay, we're just going to take away the drive. We're going to hit you at the post. We can't hit kick out threes. And so I think this is a very dynamic offensive team in regards to what our weapons are. Defensively, it's a dynamic team, but we also have a lot of youth too. And I think it takes some time when you go down the line here. You got young players and transfers, and I thought we've defended well up to a point. And just some things we got to tighten up, but that just comes with effort and just watching film.
Last one for you both. 12-0 in conference play now. You guys are separating yourselves from the rest of the conference in a big way. What has just been clicking since, even when you look back, you guys played them last in December the 11th in Abilene. Since that point, this team has grown in leaps and bounds. Talk about maybe that improvement. Arieona, from your perspective as a player, and Coach Morefield, obviously, from your perspective, seeing the teams.
As a player perspective, it's just honestly, we're 12-0 is not because we're playing good basketball, but also because the whole team is on one page. We're all making sure we're executing the little things like boxing out, knowing personnel, and just make sure we're executing every play and basically knowing our opponent every time we step on the floor.
I think the biggest thing is these girls have done a great job. I felt like in past we've had good teams, but sometimes we haven't maybe embraced the target on our back. And I feel like this team, even though young, you got someone like Arieona. She's a two-time state champion. She's obviously played with a target on her back. You got the vets who've played with a target on their back. And so I think for that, we got girls that embrace it. And what they do is, in anything, we talk about 1-0. We don't talk about 12-0. We don't talk about where we're at. We talk about 1-0. As soon as we're in the locker room, okay, great, let's move on to McMurray. What's next? And I think that mentality starts from us coaches all the way down. But I think that's what helps us as a team is the message as us coaches are talking about being 1-0 and just worrying about what's in front of us, not what's behind us, not what's 3 games down the road for us, and just taking care of business one day at a time. Even if it's at practice 1-0, we got to be better in certain aspects. Let's get better. Are we 1-0 in those aspects? And so I think these girls, they have grown. They've gone from double-digit lead against Rose, who was a top 25 team at one point, to win a close game. Losing a double-digit lead against Trinity, going up to Colorado and in different environment and so forth, and then rebounding back from Nebraska. They've grown along the ways, but they've also, I think the uniqueness is they've been put through the fires and tested, and they're fearless. They're not just gonna sit there and just be, oh no, here we go. We're gonna keep fighting. We're gonna keep fighting and keep fighting.
Thank you guys so much, both. UMHB takes the 74-72 win over Hardin-Simmons here in Dalton tonight.
Thank you, Riley.